Hi Year 9, so here is your next lesson of live learning and your pre-recorded session for drama. So last lesson you looked at the quiz and I have screenshotted the answers into our current lesson. Now I apologise if, as a few of you experienced, you got the answer right but Teams made it come out as if it was wrong. It's just because of it's case sensitive. So, for example, if you put hero and did it with a lowercase h and I did it with an uppercase h, it would bring it out as wrong. I apologise for that, but you still did get the question right. So just take a few minutes to take a look through that information then. So read through all the questions, read through the right answers, just so we've all got that knowledge in place ready for the lesson. Okay. Last lesson, you were asked to create a flashback. Now, from the pieces that I have been able to mark, I can see that quite a few people got onto this section quite extensively, which is great, but a few people needed a bit more time. So, if you are one of the people that needed to spend a little bit more time on this task, please can you pause me now and continue with that. I'd like to see flashback based on one character from the yellow table, ensuring that you've identified the provocation, the pangs, and the penalty. Okay, for everybody else then, well done for the work that you've done previously, and it's time to move on to our next section now. So, we're identifying and implementing elements of different styles and genres. So today's career link from Unifrog is a screenwriter. So we're thinking about coming up with themes and ideas, developing believable plots and characters, preparing short summaries of your ideas, creativity and imagination, storytelling skills, and an understanding of dramatic structure. Okay, so those are the skills that relate to that career that we will be using today. In order to get the highest level possible, guys, I'd like you to make sure that you show you've got a full understanding of this style and genre, and this is shown through engaging and effective characterization ideas that fit with the performance context. It needs to be really confident, and there needs to be a justification of its use and analysis of its impact on the audience. Okay, so I'm looking for that extra bit of depth in terms of our evaluation today. So as always, we're going to start with our social, moral, spiritual and cultural question. So this is your first task. Today, we'll be developing our creativity in creating performance work. Why is creativity important to employers? Think about a job or career that interests you. How will creativity influence this work? If you'd like to pop me on pause and answer that question. Okay, just a little bit of a reminder then, guys. Melodramatic plot and structure. Melodramas always have simple moral plots where the story would show a struggle between good and evil and would conclude with the re-establishment of a morally correct and just society. Each play relied on extreme opposites to captivate the audience's attention and ignite reactions such as justice versus revenge, honesty versus dishonesty, and innocence versus corruption. A traditional melodramatic plot would include the following three elements, and you should have this down in your work from last lesson, so please use it as a reference. Provocation, the initial cause for setting action into motion. Jealousy or greed forces an evil character to plan an offence. Pangs, the significant suffering of the good and innocent characters who are caught up in the evil plot. And penalty, in the last minute twist of fate, the wicked character has their plans spoiled and receives a punishment for his or her actions. All right? So use that as a point of reference, as a reminder. You should have that as an example in your flashback. Okay, so you'll see in the assignment that I have created a structure for you. It looks very similar to what you might have done before in terms of a storyboard. Okay, so this is the worksheet that you're going to actually create your work on today. So you're going to need that open. If you are working on a laptop, you can use images and copy them over. You can use drawing software if you have that, or if you're doing it on paper, please draw it out. You will not be judged on the quality of your drawing. Do not worry if you are not the greatest drawer in the world. Okay, it's about me being able to see what you see in your mind's eye and you being able to evaluate it and analyze it. So start with the boxes at the top then. If you did this correctly last lesson, you should simply be able to copy this over so that you've got it in an effective professional format. Provocation. So make sure you've got what is the cause for the action that will happen. Pangs, how do the good and innocent people suffer? And the penalty, how is the evil plan ruined and what are the consequences? Once you've done that, please move on to your characters. So who do you need to be in the play? What are their names and what kind of personalities do they have? And then finally complete the 3 storyboard boxes. So give each scene a name. Draw an image that best represents the main action of the scene. And then describe your scene underneath. Okay? I'd expect for the higher level 2, level 3 students to be justifying their decisions, so saying why they've made those decisions. And for the higher level 3 and level 4 students, I would also expect them to analyse the impact on the audience. So what do the audience think, feel and understand about the characters and their situation during that particular bit of the scene? Okay? It's important, jumped a bit ahead there. It's important to think about our oracy skills as we are doing this, so think about our cognitive skills as we are working. Which of the cognitive oracy skills do we think is most important during this task? Okay, and how are we going to make sure we are developing them to the best of our ability? So we're thinking about giving response to support views and critically examining ideas, views and opinions. Once you have completed this in detail and to the best of your ability, if you get onto the next task, the final one will be a PIN assessment, okay? So, can you do this either on paper or on a Word document? You can do it with your SMSC question. You need to start with a positive comment. I've put some sentence starters in there to support you and give you an idea to what to write about, but you can use your own. During this lesson and the task I've completed, I think the most impressive thing about my work is. Next then, an improvement comment. However, I think I need to work on. Next steps, in the future I'm going to. And finally, a level. The level I would like to give myself for my work for this lesson is, and please refer back to this slide here to give yourself a level. Okay guys, remember that we are always in the live chat room, so you can always come back and talk to us. You can ask us questions whenever you need them.